Lennar's Rivergrass, a 1,000-plus home master plan community set to reshape Collier County. On January 29, 2026, Lennar Homes celebrated the official groundbreaking of Rivergrass at 5063 Oil Well Road in eastern Collier County. When Dave Mears, the division manager for Lennar Homes, stood at that groundbreaking ceremony and said, "It's a great day for Lennar and a great day for Collier County," he wasn't exaggerating the significance of this moment. According to Gulf Shore Business, crews from Miami-based Downright Engineering were already hard at work when the ceremony took place, excavating retention ponds, moving massive amounts of dirt, and preparing to install the water and sewage infrastructure that will support what will eventually become a community of more than 1,000 homes. But what makes this groundbreaking particularly noteworthy is just how long it took to get to this point and all the twists and turns along the way. Pat Utter, the Senior Vice President of Real Estate for Collier Enterprises, which previously owned the land, revealed at the groundbreaking that this project has actually been more than 2 decades in the making. Think about that for a moment. 20 years of planning, negotiating, environmental studies, legal challenges, and community input before the first shovel hit the ground. Utter explained that development efforts on this site started way back, but were derailed by the economic downturn of 2007, that devastating recession that brought so much development in Florida to a screeching halt. Development efforts resumed about 12 years ago, which means this project has not just survived one economic crisis, but navigated through regulatory hurdles, environmental considerations, and significant legal opposition to finally reach this point. In December 2025, just weeks before the groundbreaking, Melrose Property Florida LLC, which is an offshoot of Lennar, paid $18 million for the 545-acre site, according to property records cited by Gulf Shore Business. To put that into perspective, that's about $33,000 per acre. Much of this land has been used for farming, growing peppers, tomatoes, and potatoes, but as Utter candidly noted, the value of the land for housing eventually surpassed its agricultural use. This is a pattern we're seeing all across Southwest Florida, where agricultural land is being converted to residential development at an accelerating pace, raising important questions about food production, open space, and the character of our region. Now, before we dive into what Rivergrass is going to look like when it's completed, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the environmental controversy and legal battle that surrounded this project. The Rivergrass site became the subject of legal challenges by the Conservancy of Southwest Florida, one of the most prominent environmental advocacy organizations in the region. The Conservancy opposed the development strenuously, arguing that it will harm environmentally sensitive lands and the Florida Panther habitat, burden taxpayers with infrastructure costs, and create significant traffic problems. According to multiple sources, including the Conservancy's own website and reporting from the Naples Daily News, the organization filed a lawsuit against Collier County in early 2020, within months of the county's commission's approval of the village. This became the Conservancy's largest legal battle in its nearly 60-year history. The case went through the courts for several years, with the Conservancy initially losing at the trial court level, then winning a partial victory on appeal when the 2nd District Court of Appeal found that the trial judge had made some legal errors in excluding some of the Conservancy's arguments about traffic and fiscal impacts. Finally, in July 2023, the Conservancy and Collier Enterprises reached a settlement agreement that allowed the project to move forward, but with significant environmental concessions. According to the settlement terms reported by Naples Florida Weekly and other sources, Collier Enterprises agreed to permanently reserve 655 acres of primary Florida Panther habitat through a conservation easement granted to the Conservancy. This preserved land is strategically located between Golden Gate Estates and the Florida Panther National Wildlife Refuge, creating an important corridor for Panther movement. Additionally, and this is really significant, Collier Enterprises committed to extinguish 65,000 development credits as part of the sale of land to the state of Florida for the Caloosahatchee-Big Cypress Wildlife Corridor. The reduction of these credits will decrease the overall development potential for the entire Rural Lands Stewardship Area by about 6,500 acres, which, as the Conservancy pointed out, is an area greater than 6 villages, the size of Rivergrass itself. So what exactly is the Rural Lands Stewardship Area, or RLSA, as it's commonly called? This is really important context for understanding not just Rivergrass, but the entire future of Eastern Collier County. According to the RLSA Facts website, which is maintained by the Eastern Collier Properties Ownership Group, the RLSA is a planning and zoning overlay that was approved by Collier County back in 2002 for approximately 185,000 acres of land in Eastern Collier County. That's a massive area, roughly 289 square miles. The RLSA program is what's called an incentive-based approach to rural planning. Here's how it works in simple terms. Land Landowners receive credits for the land based on whether it's designated as a stewardship sending area, which contains environmentally viable features like wetlands and wildlife habitat, or stewardship receiving area, which includes lands that are more suitable for development, often formal agricultural lands. Under the program, landowners actually give up their existing development rights on environmentally sensitive land and transfer those rights or credits to build on less sensitive land. The key ratio is this: for every acre of development in the RLSA, more than 3 acres of high-quality environmental lands must be preserved, and this preservation comes at no cost to Collier County taxpayers. Pat Utter explained at the groundbreaking that within the broader RLSA framework, there will be 3,500 acres of development and 13,000 acres of preservation. As he puts it, which is very important, our ratio is pretty big, 13,000 to 3,500. Rivergrass by Lennar comprises 545 acres of that 3,500 acre development area. The community is located about 15 miles east of Interstate 75 and roughly 4 miles west of Ave Maria, the established master plan community that's anchored by Ave Maria University. According to WGCU's reporting, Rivergrass is part of a larger framework called the Town of Brick Cypress, which when fully built out will include 3 villages: Rivergrass, Longwater, and Belmar. At full built out, the town of Big Cypress is expected to have around 8,300 homes, housing approximately 11,000 residents, plus more than 1.6 million square feet of shops, offices, and other commercial spaces. So what exactly is Lennar planning to build at Rivergrass? According to the information from Gulf Shore Business and other sources, the development will include townhomes and 3 different types of single-family homes, with prices ranging from $300,000 to $700,000. This price range is significant because it suggests that Lennar is trying to appeal to a broad market, from first-time homebuyers and young families at the lower end, all the way up to more affluent buyers looking for larger estate homes at the upper end. Dave Mears described it as an intergenerational community where there will be a home from everybody, from townhomes all the way up to estate homes. The development will be what Mears called highly amenitized, and here's where it starts to sound like the kind of resort-style living that's become increasingly popular in Southwest Florida. The community will include about 8 acres of dedicated amenity space, featuring pickleball courts, tennis courts, a resort-style pool, and even a dog park. These kind of amenities have become almost standard in new master plan communities, reflecting how home buyers' expectations have evolved over the past decade. The timeline for Rivergrass is worth paying attention to if you're interested in either buying a home there or tracking the development of eastern Collier County. Lennar expects to break ground soon on modeled homes, which are expected for completion by July of 2026. However, the first residents are not expected to actually move in until 2027. As Mears noted at the groundbreaking, there's a tremendous amount of infrastructure work that has to happen first. Lakes need to be excavated for stormwater retention, sewer and water lines need to be installed, roads need to be built, and individual home sites need to be prepared. Anyone who's watched a large development go up knows that the infrastructure phase can take many months, and it's only after that foundation is in place that vertical construction of homes can really accelerate. It's also worth noting what else is happening in this immediate area, because Rivergrass is just one piece of a much larger development boom in eastern Collier County. According to the Gulf Shore Business article, right across Oil Well Road from Rivergrass, Taylor Morrison is developing an 18-hole golf course community that will include about 1,000 homes on 450 acres. If you drive further east on Immokalee Road, you'll find other approved villages and communities in various stages of planning and construction. This concentration of development is transforming what was, until very recently, primarily agricultural land into a suburban landscape that's starting to look more like the development patterns we're seeing in eastern Lee County along Corkscrew Road. This brings us to the bigger questions that Rivergrass raises about the future of Southwest Florida. On one hand, there's no question that our region needs more housing. Population growth continues to put pressure on the housing market, and prices have remained stubbornly high. New communities like Rivergrass, with home prices starting in the $300,000 range, could provide much-needed inventory for working families, young professionals, and retirees looking to relocate to Southwest Florida. The compact village design, with commercial space planned within the community, theoretically reduces the need for residents to drive long distances for basic services and shopping, which could help with traffic congestion. The preservation of thousands of acres of environmentally sensitive land through the RLSA program is also significant, creating wildlife corridors and protecting wetlands that might otherwise have been developed under the old 1 unit per 5 acre rule that applied before the RLSA was created. On the other hand, as environmental groups like the Conservancy of Southwest Florida have consistently pointed out, this development is still happening in an area that's home to the endangered Florida panther and other sensitive wildlife. Every new home means more cars on the roads, and vehicle strikes are the leading cause of panther deaths. There are legitimate questions questions about whether the infrastructure, particularly roads and water systems, can keep up with this pace of development without burdening existing taxpayers. And there's a broader philosophical question about what kind of region we want Southwest Florida to be. Do we want to continue converting agricultural land and natural areas into subdivisions, or should we be focusing development in areas that are already urbanized and have existing infrastructure? These are questions that don't have easy answers, and Rivergrass sits right at the intersection of these competing values and visions for our region's future. What we can say for certain is that Rivergrass represents a significant milestone. It's the first major village to break ground under the RLSA program after years of planning, legal challenges, and community debate. How this community develops, whether it delivers on a promise of compact, sustainable growth, and whether the environmental protections hold up over time will likely influence how future villages in the RLSA are planned and approved. For anyone interested in the future of Southwest Florida, Rivergrass is definitely a development worth watching closely as it takes shape over the next several years. For more reading on the Rivergrass community, I'll have source links in the description below, along with my contact information if you like help buying or selling a property in Southwest Florida. Want to learn more about other major developments in the area? Click the videos on your screen right now. Thanks for watching.